And here you can see this is other column. These are two columns. It means these are the supports. So the span between these two columns is 16 feet. So if this is 16 feet, so the mid of this beam is 8 feet. Okay, so this is the center line of this beam. So 8 feet on this side and 8 feet on this side. So 8 plus 8, this is 16 feet. Okay, now I will guide you for extra steel rods. Guys, you can see these two are extra steel rods. 1, 2. Where we can provide the extra steel rods, where we have negative bending moment. Where we have negative bending moment at the end of the beam or at the end of the supports are near with support at the distance of L by 4, we have negative bending moment. When the load comes on the top of this floor beam, okay, so at the center we have positive bending moment. At the end of the beam we have negative bending moment. So here we have negative bending moment and here we have negative bending moment, which length is about here 4 feet. Okay, 4 feet on this side, 4 feet on the other side. So therefore at the distance of L by 4 we have negative bending moment. So if we don't provide the extra steel rods, so we have negative bending moment. So therefore we have more chances of cracks at the end of the beam. At the end of the beam or at the end of near its support, we have more chances of cracks. To resist the cracks, we will provide or placed the extra steel rods or bent up bar. But nowadays we are providing the extra steel rods. Okay, bent up bar is economical, but bent up bar is not stronger than extra steel rods. So therefore this is very important to know about this. So now guys, at the distance of L by 4, they placed here 2 steel rods, which dia is 16 mm. Okay, if you see here, we have 5 steel rods in this floor beam. Depth is 18 inches, width is 12 inches, 3 steel rods we have the bottom, 2 at the top. Here at this place we don't have the negative bending moment. Here we have the positive bending moment. Okay, so if we have here the positive bending moment, so the beam is okay here. If we have negative bending moment, you can see we have 3 steel rods at the bottom, but here you can see at the distance of L by 4 we have 4 steel rods, because we have 2 extra steel rods only at the distance of L by 4. So be careful, especially for extra steel rods. Why we are providing the extra steel rods? If you don't provide, so what's happened? So if you don't provide, so we have more chances of cracks at this place where we have negative bending moment. So this is very clear to know about extra steel rods. Okay, same situation guys, you can see on the left and right side. You can see this is the junction between beam and column. At the distance of L by 4 feet we have negative bending moment, so therefore we have here extra 2 rods. Also on this side we have 2 extra steel rods. On the other side you can see we have 2 steel rods in upper portion, and bottom portion we have 3. But at the distance of L by 4 we have 4 steel rods, because 2 are the center extra steel rods. Okay, so this is about extra steel rods situations. Next guys, you can see the spacing of stirrups are closely placed in this floor beam at the distance of L by 4, where we have negative bending moment. After L by 4 you can see we have the distance. So this is maximum compared to this one. Here we have minimum spacing, here we have maximum spacing. So therefore this is very important. Next guys, remember, don't provide overlapping or lapping at this place where we have negative bending moment. Here we have negative bending moment, we have more chances of cracks. But if we placed the lapping at this place, so this will be very dangerous for you people, especially for this floor beam or for this construction. This is the other point. If you require to provide the lapping, if the steel is insufficient, okay, so you are able to provide at the distance of after L by 4. So this is L by 4, so provide at the distance of L by 5, but don't provide at the middle. Okay, so you can provide at this place if you require, but don't provide at this place or at this place where we have negative bending moment or extra steel rods. So stirrups are placed closely, which is about 5 inches. Here you can see this is about 8 inches. Dia is 8 millimeter, and longitudinal bars dia is 16 mm, 3 at the bottom, 2 at the top. Spacing is 8 inches and 6 inches. 6 inches at the distance of L by 4, 8 inches after L by 4. Hooks are bent on 90 degree. It should be provided on 135 degree. You can see. On the other side guys, You can see this is end of the beam, but they didn't provide the development length. Development length is very important, especially at this place. Okay, it make a good bond between steel and concrete, but they didn't provide any development length, because also we have 2 feet shade. Okay, especially here we should provide. Guys, you can see they will also place the extra steel rods at this. That's why, because this is not completed. Okay, so this is very important to know these technical terms and informations related extra steel rods, floor beam construction, longitudinal bars, stirrups details. You can see, guys, these are extra steel rods. You can see here